we have such honor today that we have this opportunity to talk to Dr. Gabriel Barkay, and he is one of the leading archaeologists in Israel. So we would like to ask him about forgery in the field of archaeology. So, Dr. Barkay, how common is it to find forgery in the field of archaeology?
It is not very common, but it exists. There are two main reasons for the existence of forgery. One is the existence of collectors who have psychological reasons. They want to own the past. They are people who cannot visualize the past without touching it. They need to have objects. Psychologically, it is difficult for them to understand history because it is too abstract. They need to see, to touch, and to own objects. And the objects give them roots, feeling that they are connected to the past. And this urge of collecting causes them to pay much money for objects, and they also compete with one another. And sometimes they have objects which are rare, and several collectors would like to have them. And this competition creates a demand. And if there is a demand, there has to be offer. Those are the laws of economy. And if there is demand, and if there is no offer, then the forgery has to come in and create the objects for those who are interested. The second reasoning, after the psychological reasoning of collecting, is the greed. There are people who think that this is a good market and they want to make money. One has to be also aware of the fact that a tiny object, a coin of antiquity, you can put it into your pocket and go through the airports of the world without being noticed. And even if an object is found, it is hard to prove where it came from. You can tell that this object was bought from an Arabic kid in some village during an excursion. And actually this is a very valuable piece of historical information. So this creates greed. And there are some museums, some collectors who are ready to pay a lot of money for such objects, and sometimes those objects are used to launder dirty money, which originates from other sources, and it is invested in antiquities. So there are the economic sides and there are the psychological sides. One has to add yet another aspect of the subject. I guess that there are some frustrated scholars who want to take revenge at their friends in the profession. They didn't make their academic career as they had dreamed to have it. They didn't get an academic position. They are not exactly accepted by their colleagues, and they want to prove to themselves, first of all, that they are worth something, and they would create sometimes forgeries. I cannot prove it. But that is my feeling, that some of the forgeries are created and sometimes advised by frustrated scholars.
What about for religious reasons?
Now, the religious reasons, they just increase the price and the importance of the objects. And very interestingly, in the 2000s, we had several such cases that suddenly there appeared an ossuary, a bone box, which is said to be purchased in Jerusalem, and upon it an inscription of St. James, or Jacob, the son of Joseph, brother of Jesus. This is the first mentioning of the historical Jesus, if the inscription is genuine. And the second one was an inscription on a stone slab, which was said to be found in Jerusalem, east of the Temple Mount, and upon it there is a description of a restoration which took place in Solomon's temple, most probably in the days of King Joash in the 9th century BC. These two objects are connected to some of the most sensitive subjects in biblical history. One of them is Solomon's temple and David and Solomon's very existence, and the second one is the historical Jesus. These two subjects are very delicate, and they are very dear to many millions of people around the world. And therefore, immediately there was a suspicion. The question of authenticity of these two objects is a question which is very much motivated by the fact that they are so important for the religious sentiments of people around the world. But one should first of all pay attention to the facts. First of all, these two objects come from the antique market. They were not found in controlled excavations. We do not know where exactly and under what circumstances they were found. We have to pay attention also to the rest of the facts. That is the raw material, that is the type of the characters, the letters, that is the paleography, the shape of the letters. We have to pay attention to the linguistics. We have to pay attention to the object itself upon which it is carved, because for the ossuary, I can say without any doubt that the ossuary is authentic. The question is whether the inscription is authentic upon it. Concerning the slab with the inscription of the restoration and the refurbishing of the temple and the repairs in the temple, that type of slab has no parallels, but there are some related objects that can be compared with it. The stone itself is not a local stone, which is of course also of interest. I would say that a forger would take a local stone and not a foreign stone, and here we have it upon a foreign stone. I have the feeling myself that the subject is too complicated very simply to say it is a forgery and to dismiss it, because in order to have a forgery, the forger has to have knowledge in archaeology, has to have knowledge in paleography, has to have the knowledge in linguistics, has to have the knowledge in chemistry in order to have the patina or the ingredients within the characters to fit the ancient components. They have to be experts in geology to understand the type of stone. You do not have those fields of knowledge in one person. You don't have them. And if it was a group of scholars, something has to leak out. Something has to leak out somewhere. Because those are the laws of the subject. If there is a group of people, in a group of people there is always a weak link that would would leak out the information or would betray the others. In any case, it cannot be one person. And if it is a group, there has to be a leak. Where is the leak? There was a trial. The trial took more than 5 years. There were 100 or more witnesses in the trial. There were 4 people accused for forgery. 2 of them were dismissed by the court because of no blame. The 2 others remained until the end, and they were acquitted from most of the charges. From the charges of forgery, they were found clean. So no forgery was proven. And it is very difficult to prove it, and I doubt whether there had to be a trial at all. This is not the way. The way to find out a forgery, to identify it, is to publish articles, learned articles by experts, by scholars, who would claim that it is a forgery, others who would claim it is not a forgery. They would publish their articles, and after 10 years, after 20 years, we are going to find out who is more convincing than the others. This was the case also with the very famous case of the Mesha inscription. It is a 9th century inscription discovered in Transjordan in 1868. For approximately 10 years, there were discussions then in the 19th century about the authenticity of that piece. This was also the case of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in the summer of 1947, and for more than 10 years there were discussions about the authenticity. There were people who claimed that they are medieval forgery, others claimed they are modern forgery, others claimed they are Christian, and others claimed they are Essene, and they belong to a sect of Jews of Second Temple period. These discussions went on until a consensus was formed approximately 10 years after the discovery, and today there are no people who do not accept the authenticity. One has to mention yet another case. In the 1880s, there was a Polish Jew in Jerusalem who converted to Christianity and got married here in Jerusalem and joined one of the Protestant groups. His name was Wilhelm Moses Shapiro. He was the local correspondent of European museums. He had a shop in the Christian quarter of the old city, and he found out that there is a demand in the museums of Europe for antiquities from Palestine, and antiquities that would have some biblical connections. He could not supply the demand. So he had in the backyard of his shop in the old city of Jerusalem some Bedouins who manufactured antiquities. Those are the Moabitica. They are still in some collections. You can still find them. And unfortunately, most of the European museums who purchased them, they threw them away, and we do not have them.